and gentlemen, you're watching the exit polls on Times Now, the election news headquarters. And so far, we have revealed the numbers for 20 states. But the biggest face-offs are yet to be uncovered, even as we have been talking about southern bastions of the India alliance. Tamil Nadu and Telangana, the eastern fortress of Mamata Banerjee's Bengal. And finally, we have saved the best for the last, the most popular state and the largest number of Lok Sabha seats coming from Uttar Pradesh. So these are the states that we're going to look at over the next 60 minutes. And we'll also look at the total number that's going to be put on the screens and who's getting to actually the swearing in at Rashtrapati Bhavan on 4th. Of course, the numbers will tell you that, but we'll give you the trailer even before the real movie on the 4th of June. What prevails in the Hindi heartland? Who will rule over Bharat from Uttar Pradesh? We will give you all of those numbers over the next few minutes. But first, let's take a look at the numbers of Tamil Nadu coming up on your screen. And Tamil Nadu numbers here, the DMK at 34, NDA alliance at 3, ADMK at 2, others at 0. That's the way Tamil Nadu is stacked. 3 seats for the BJP's NDA alliance. JVC, would you like to take a guess on... let me first introduce our panel this evening. Pardon me, but Dr. Anand Ranganathan to the right of me, also joining me, JVC. Vanakkam. Oh, ekdam, sab ab vanakkam ho gaya. Harshvardhan Tripathi ji, namaskar kar rahe hain, vanakkam kar rahe hain. Sabha Naqvi, senior journalist, Sanjay Jha, every evening on our debates, and today Sanjay Jha. Itna down mat ho. Let your chin not touch the floor.
No, we are
today.
patient. We'll wait till the 4th. We'll wait till the 4th.
Also joining us is Harish Mohammad Ibrahim, political analyst, supports the DMK. Also joining us, Abbas Haider, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Anand Dubey, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray group, and of course Gaurav Bhatia, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining this broadcast. But Gaurav Bhatia, before we come to you, let's take a look at the numbers in Tamil Nadu. 34 for the DMK, Congress together, India alliance here, BJP at 3, AIADMK at 2, others at 0. Vote shares would be important to look at in Tamil Nadu. And in Tamil Nadu, the vote shares of the DMK 52%, the BJP or the NDA alliance at 15%, ADMK at 25%, others at 8%. So 15%. JVC, do you see a story here?
Definitely it is going to be higher. I trust your numbers, but the vote share of the NDA is going to be about 22%. And in all probability, it will be almost equal to AIADMK. And DMK will not be able to hold on to 52. It will come down by at least 8 to 9 percentile points. And that's my first
Why
take.
do you say that?
See, because there is a level of anti-incumbency against the DMK government. And in a three-way contest, they're comfortably able to win 30 plus seats, which is what my prediction is also. But if you look at microscopically, there are certain vote banks which are changing. Women were always with AIADMK. Because of this 1,000 rupees scheme and the free buses, that women have either moved towards DMK or some of them, because of Annamalai effect, have moved towards the BJP.
So is Annamalai winning this election? Because he gave me a number of 25% vote share for the NDA. Do you think that's going to happen?
According to my polling, exit poll, which I conducted, sample size of over 6,000, Annamalai was leading by 5%. That's what I can say.
Okay, Anand Ranganathan.
Vanakkam, first of all, Narika. Let me begin by saying that the real story of 2019 election, Modi victory, was actually, yes, of course, Modi winning, but the real story was Smriti Irani defeating Rahul Gandhi in Amethi. And I would say the real story of 2024 is, of course, Modi winning, but the real story is Tamil Nadu and the way BJP is performing there. So, to paraphrase Smriti Irani, कौन कहता है चेन्नई के आसमान में सुराख नहीं हो सकता, जरा तबीयत से पत्थर तो उछालो यारो.
Okay. Sanjay Jha, you want to take that?
Yeah, Navika, I feel that the BJP has been south in Tamil Nadu for a long time, and they'll go further south if that is possible. I think the vote share of the BJP will go up. I concede, because the BJP has invested a lot of time, resources, and the Prime Minister has campaigned. So even in Kerala, where they won't do well, they will probably not even get one seat.
Kerala, they're getting 1 or 2 seats, is what our exit poll says.
Well, I can tell you, one of the seats they have been targeting for a long time is Dr. Tharoor's seat, and Sashi is winning it hands down. So, you're talking about...
let's come back to Tamil Nadu.
So I definitely feel that the BJP is increasing vote share in the southern part of India, not the seats. Therefore, I believe in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, you will not see the traction that the exit polls indicate.
Gaurav Bhatia, Tamil Nadu, important destination. The Prime Minister has really put the emphasis on the south, and in the south it has been Tamil Nadu, the Tamil culture, the Tamil connect that he's found, the anti-Sanatan sentiment by the DMK, all of this made it fertile ground. Do you think vote share going up is a given? It will convert into seats. Our exit poll gives it about 3 to the NDA. How do you see the groundswell for the BJP in Tamil Nadu?
Navika, a very good evening to all. And I must say that even the exit polls are predicting the trend, which we were sure of, but the numbers would be even better. And I must tell you, when we talk about the southern India, it is important to know 2019 elections, you remember? Narendra Modi ji united the entire country, and he had a policy of look east, act east. This election was all about look south, act south, and I think now it is paying rich dividends to the Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA. And I must also say that, there are 2 ideologies that are at war. The first is divide and rule on regional basis. Anti-Sanatan, calling Sanatan dengue, malaria, worse than AIDS and leprosy. On the other side, Kashi Tamil Sangamam. It is an energizing effect on every Indian, uniting southern India with northern India. And today, Narendra Modi ji is epitome of unity for every Indian, and that is reflected in the numbers. Second, Annamalai ji, as a very effective leader connecting with the masses, is not only ensuring increase in vote bank. I am sure when the results are out, we will see that even in Tamil Nadu, Bharatiya Janata Party will get a number of seats, and second, Bharatiya Janata Party will emerge as the largest party in the 5 South Indian states, and I think that is very important. Third, it is important to understand that today Ghamandia also held a meeting, and after 2.5 hours, Kharge ji came out. And do you know what they discussed for 2.5 hours? It was Thikra kaha phorna hai. Who will be the scapegoat? And I am reminded of what Kharge ji had said earlier when he was contesting the president election of the Congress party. उन्होंने कहा बकरीद में बकरा बचेगा तो मुहर्रम में नाचेगा. तो वही हाल है कि ठीकरा कहाँ फोड़ना है और बलि का बकरा कौन है. बलि का बकरा खड़गे जी है, और 4 जून को हिस्ट्री विल बी क्रिएटेड बिकॉज नरेंद्र मोदी जी आफ्टर 62 years will become a prime minister who has won 3 successive elections in a row. This has not happened after 62, which is an achievement in itself and shows the effective leadership and popularity of Narendra Modi ji.
Well, Harish, I want to ask you, of course, in the state of Tamil Nadu, as far as state governments go, the DMK has an upper hand. The fact is, this is the Lok Sabha elections. And in the Lok Sabha elections, if the DMK loses about 3 seats to the BJP, AIA, DMK, do you think that's something of a possibility that you would have accounted for?
No, for sure, the numbers are going to be changing to a 0, which is what always the BJP will always get in Tamil Nadu, because the people of Tamil Nadu will always differentiate the politics along with religion, but where the BJP contested this election in Tamil Nadu is pure on a religious polarization, which vehemently will be opposed by the Tamil people at large, number one. Number two, where always the BJP goes in hand to against the Tamil people, and they have not even released the NDRF funds when the entire districts of 3 districts were being completely flooded. This will not be forgiven by the Tamil people at given point of time.
The campaign is over, but Anand Ranganathan, they're still stuck.
BJP is campaigning in Tamil Nadu on religious polarization. Saying that you want to eradicate Sanatan Dharma is not religious polarization.
No.
Saying that you have let off...
That's kosher.
Saying
That's
that
secularism.
Saying that you have let off Coimbatore bombers in spite of Supreme Court saying... Sanjay, one second. Supreme Court denying bail to the Coimbatore bombers and DMK letting them off. Saying that, look, we help out Muslims. That is not religious polarization. What are we talking about? Which world are we living in?
Well, no. I have to stop you because we need to pick up another South Indian state, which is the state of Telangana. And let me pick up, if there is a headline that we have to get in this election, then Telangana is one of the states where people said there will be a churn. Are we getting a headline out of Telangana? Let's take a look at the numbers. And numbers for Telangana coming up on your screen. 9 to the BJP, 7 to the Congress party, 1 to the others, which would be one of Asaduddin Owaisi, AIMIM. But despite having a state government, despite the Bharat Jodo Yatra and the advantage in the assembly elections, the Congress unable to hold on to the groundswell in Telangana. Bharat Jodo gone, everything gone. BJP gets 9. From 4 to 9 is more than 100% increase.
Yeah, Navika, let me tell you, where Telangana is concerned, the BRS has completely exploded, imploded, whatever you want to call it. That beneficiaries are both going to be BJP and Congress. We know that. I think at the end of the day, I think the numbers will be reversed. I do think BJP is going up significantly. It might add 4 seats. But I think the Congress will be at 9 and the BJP will be at 7 or maybe lower. But I think BRS is definitely out of the game.
I come from Telangana. I had extensively traveled in Telangana since January. I can tell you this 9 has the potential to go up to 11. On February 7, 2024, in Times Now, I said BJP is certainly winning 7. It was on February 7th. Now today we are on June 1st. I can tell you this can go up to as high as 12. There are only 2 waves. Heat wave,
give
Modi
17.
wave.
Give all 17.
No, I'm not giving all 17. I'm saying there is a reason behind it.
Why?
Because if you look at, say, places like Nizamabad, 70-year-old problem of turmeric board, which they've been asking. And this MP who defeated KCR's daughter brought turmeric board to Telangana.
Okay, so let me bring in Sabah.
Ram Mandir. It's development.
Okay, let me ask Sabah Naqvi. Sabah Naqvi, anti-Modi and the actions of the agencies. Telangana was another state where BRS made a huge song and dance about K. Kavita's arrest, and so did the India Alliance, because Arvind Kejriwal, liquor scam, K. Kavita, hasn't cut any ice on the ground in Telangana. So if these numbers are anything to go by.
In Telangana, there was a very, the BRS was created with defections from the Congress, if I'm not mistaken. And now, so you're seeing a party created by defectors, now losing the defectors, move on to greener pastures. This is what you have. The BRS was a breakaway group from them, and it had full of, even the Congress chief minister, they should worry about it. He's originally from Chandrababu Naidu's.
And before that, ABVP.
So I'm just saying, Andhra Pradesh is a state that epitomizes undivided AP in YSR Reddy's time, was the state which has the most millionaires. It had the most lavish anti-poverty handouts to people, which is a good thing, but it had the biggest examples of cronyism. Cronyism was visible in the state. So it created certain models which are visible in both Telangana and in Andhra Pradesh.
So you're saying the BJP gains, not surprising?
I'm saying the BJP has completely taken over whatever was left of the BRS. The structures they have taken over.
I agree with what Sabah is saying. Because BRS was started for a single reason, separate Telangana. That has been achieved. Now there is no business for BRS in Telangana.
Well, let's wait and watch. Telangana, these are the vote shares. The Congress has a larger vote share, 36%, BJP at 31%, others at 33%, yet BJP gets the maximum seats out of this, and that seems to be concentrated vote.
Exactly. See, because where BJP is present, Adilabad, Nizamabad, Karimnagar, Chevalla, Zahirabad, Mahbubnagar, Secunderabad, and these places. So what happens in these places, the winning margin will be very high. But in places like Khammam, Mahmudabad, Peddapalli, and even in places like Warangal, BJP would be lagging behind. As a result of which, victories by BJP will be bigger margin and defeats also will be by bigger margin.
Okay.
And Congress has got presence in all the 17 constituencies in Telangana. BJP is fighting in 13 and winning in 9 or 10.
Well, let's look at the other big story which will come out of possibly Bengal. That's the headline journalists are looking for, and that's what the BJP's narrative has been all about. And look at this upset in West Bengal. BJP at 21, Trinamool Congress at 20, Congress at 1, others at 0. This might be... this will be probably Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary's seat. We'll just check the detail. Which seat is this? But look at the top band. The BJP or the NDA is past the halfway mark. It's at 284 out of 458 seats. Sanjay Jha, should I offer you a cup of tea?
Yeah, put some hazelnut into it as well. I think
And a little bit of glucose D. if
no,
you
that's
want.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm naturally sweet, so don't worry about that. I think the larger part on West Bengal, I mean, this is an election that I think all of us have been very keenly following. And I have been talking to a lot of my friends in the TMC in West Bengal. And I think they all acknowledged that this is a close fight. The BJP, I felt, would just about hold on to its 18 of the last time.
But they've improved their tally.
Yeah.
And Gaurav Bhatia, is this big news for the BJP? Going ahead of the Trinamool Congress, is that why Mamata Banerjee is in a bad mood and hasn't come for the India Alliance meeting that was held at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence this afternoon?
No, Navika, though your numbers show that we'll be gaining 3 seats in West Bengal, but I would like to go by what Amit Shah ji had said and other top leaders of the party, that Bharatiya Janata Party will comfortably win from 26 to 30 seats. And there is a reason behind it. We need to understand that, one, we have always been working for the people of West Bengal, and when issues like Sandesh Khali are raised by the BJP, it inspires the citizenry of West Bengal. They feel there is a responsible opposition in the state government. And that has now reflected, because this is Lok Sabha election and they're choosing a leader, prime minister for the country, and Narendra Modi ji inspires confidence. Second, when it comes to West Bengal, there has been confusion writ large. We all know how, even after coining Ghamandia, what they did was they were fighting amongst themselves. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary was the most bitter enemy of Mamata Banerjee. And that also shows that there was no synergy. And third, as you rightly said, even in today's meeting of the India Alliance, what happened? Mamata Banerjee was not there. So it clearly reflects that the aspirations of the people in West Bengal have not been met, and therefore they're looking for a change, and they know Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is the one who can deliver. He's done it in the past, he will do it again in the future, and that is why this huge swing from TMC to Bharatiya Janata Party.
Let me ask Harshvardhan Tripathi, even as I look at the vote shares. BJP at 48%, Trinamool Congress at 44% and 43%. Congress party at 13%, others at 0%. So BJP is 1% ahead of Trinamool Congress, even in percentage points. Now, Gaurav Bhatia says that 21 seat se zyada hongi. The direction is right. Maybe, you know, what he's saying has some merit. But I want to ask you, what happens to the anti-ED, anti-CBI and the corruption issue, because Telangana हो या बंगाल हो, दोनों जगह हम देख रहे हैं जहां सबसे ज्यादा बोला गया था कि एजेंसीज कहीं ना कहीं पीछे पड़ गई हैं ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज की, वहां पर लोग करप्शन के खिलाफ और मोदी के लिए वोट दे रहे हैं. क्या कोई मैसेज है?
नविका जी, सबसे पहले तो तेलंगाना पर मैं बात करूंगा और ये कांग्रेस के लिए बहुत अलार्मिंग है. जहां जहां रीजनल फोर्सेस आउट हो रही हैं, कांग्रेस वहां कमजोर हो रही है. तेलंगाना में अभी अभी बहुत थंपिंग मेजॉरिटी के साथ गवर्नमेंट बनती है और उसके बाद अगर बीजेपी नंबर 1 पार्टी लोकसभा में बन रही है तो ये कांग्रेस के लिए बड़ी चिंता का विषय है. ये कम चिंता का विषय है कि वो एबीवीपी से हैं रेवंत रेड्डी. दूसरा, जब पश्चिम बंगाल की बात करते हैं, सिर्फ 10 सीटें ऐसी हैं जहां मुस्लिम मेजॉरिटी वोट्स होने की वजह से हमें लगता है कि वो सीटें टीएमसी पूरी तरह से होल्ड करेगी. वो उसके अलावा सारी सीटें यानी 32 सीटें, 30 से 32 सीटें ऐसी है जो ओपन है, किसी भी फेवर में जा सकती है. मेरा यह मानना है कि बीजेपी संदेश खाली का इशू हो, जो मुस्लिम जिसको हम कहते हैं ना कि एक अपीजमेंट पॉलिटिक्स ममता बनर्जी की थी, उसके खिलाफ जो नरेंद्र मोदी ने नैरेटिव चलाया वो सेट होता हुआ दिख रहा है. जो महिलाएं हैं, वीमेन वोटर्स है, वो पूरी तरह से नरेंद्र मोदी के साथ हैं. और ओवरऑल अगर कहें तो बंगाल की सोसाइटी, ये जो पॉलिटिक्स है जिसको बार बार हम कहते हैं कि कम्युनिस्टों के साथ फिर तृणमूल के साथ, उससे बाहर जाना चाहती है, वो इस बार होता हुआ दिखेगा.
After Bengal, let's go across to the biggest state with the largest number of seats, Uttar Pradesh, coming up on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. And Uttar Pradesh, 69 seats to the BJP, 11 seats to the Congress plus Samajwadi Party, BSP at 0, others at 0. So BJP likely to repeat its performance of 2014 when they got about 71 seats. 71 seats and this time 69. 2019 elections, they were about 62, 63 seats. This time it is 69. 11, I think, 1 seat to the Congress party, which is the Rai Bareli. So Sanjay Jha, you can heave a sigh of relief. Rahul Gandhi is willing. The question would be, will he quit Wayanad or will he quit Rai Bareli? Another Dharam Sangh.
Tell us Amethi.
Amethi, because only 1 seat
Only
going
one.
to the
Only one.
Congress. Smriti Irani is home once again getting Amethi. Will be the big news point. Gaurav Bhatia, that is what's happening. Let's look at the vote shares before I get in. Gaurav Bhatia, vote shares for the NDA in Uttar Pradesh, 51% in the largest state. Samajwadi Party, Congress together is 34%, BSP at 9%, others at 6%, but 51% of the vote share. And many people who were wondering if the BJP would lose ground, and there was this narrative ke BJP का वर्कर नहीं निकला, RSS बाहर नहीं निकली. Gaurav Bhatia, all those narratives bite the dust today?
Before Gaurav comes in, can I make one point? I think if you look at the dip in BSP's vote share, that is a huge advantage to the BJP. I think a
But Dalit
significant...
तो आपके पास जा रहे थे.
Not entirely.
Rahul
Not
Gandhi
entirely.
was telling everybody that the lower castes are not with the BJP. They would.
vote will never go for SP.
Lovely.
That's a written rule.
Well, Gaurav Bhatia.
May I make my comment?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Navika, my friend Sanjay Jha, my friend Sanjay Jha, from a politician, he's become a psephologist now. He's not even talking about the Congress. But I must tell you, in 2014, the NDA had 73 seats and 71 for the BJP. Now you are showing 69 seats for the NDA. I must tell you, the double engine is working on the ground. People are loving it. They want Modi and Yogi ji together. And what is going to happen? We will cross the 75 mark in Uttar Pradesh. And I hail from Uttar Pradesh. I must tell you the reason also. वोट जिहाद का प्रसाद किसने दिया है? जनता ने. अगर आप वोट जिहाद बोलोगे, the kind of communal politics that the Samajwadi Party has been indulging in has been rejected. And what do people want? People want that please respect the Hindu religion as well. They refuse the invite for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony at Ayodhya. And this is the outcome. Coupled with the fact that Narendra Modi ji and Yogi Adityanath ji had the courage to place their report card before the people of Uttar Pradesh, and that is why we see this decimation of the Samajwadi Party as well as the Congress Party. Congress Party has been now reduced to, a non-entity in Uttar Pradesh. And the trends clearly reflect the popularity of Narendra Modi ji and Yogi ji, because they work truly hard for the
Abbas
people of
Haider, I want to ask you, Congress is a liability for the Samajwadi Party. Do you think so? Because the performance probably depended too much. They took your support probably to win Rahul Gandhi's Raebareli seat, but they haven't got any help to you on the table.
Navika ji, can you repeat your question, because there was some audio issue.
मैं कह रही हूँ, आपने तो कांग्रेस को हेल्प कर दिया, राहुल गांधी जीत रहे हैं रायबरेली, लेकिन कांग्रेस आपको नहीं हेल्प कर पाई.
Navika ji, let me tell you that the exit poll, your exit poll is the result would be the exact opposite of your exit poll. Let me remind you of your opinion poll. You have given 6 seats to Samajwadi Party in India Alliance, which you have increased to 11 by now. I thank you for that. But let me tell you, Navika ji, the sample size of your exit poll is 4,25,000, and the number of polling station which were in this election were 12 lakh. So basically, you have asked just one person out of 3 polling booths. So that cannot be the result. And as far as Samajwadi Party is concerned, I'm telling you, we have at least talked to 4,000 to 5,000 people in every Lok Sabha constituency.
All right, but I want to give our viewers a look at the overall numbers, and the overall numbers on the top band. 543 seats, projections coming up on your screens, and 358 to the NDA, 152 to the India Alliance, and 33 to the others. Ab 33 जोड़ भी लो इसमें तो भी कुछ नहीं होना India Alliance का संजय झा. But let me go across to my August panel. Joining me at this hour, S. Gurumurthy, editor Tughlaq, joining me live. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, Lok Sabha candidate from Thiruvananthapuram, also Minister of State for Electronics, IT, and he has another portfolio, I think skill development, joining me on the screen. And I want to ask you, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, coming to you first. Kerala, first numbers, 1 or 2 seats is what is being projected. Are you missing a few heartbeats? Rajiv, how close a contest is it going to be? Sanjay Jha sitting here says Shashi Tharoor is winning hands down. What do you think?
Well, I think everybody who's a Congress person has, in the last 100 days, held on to this hope and this false hope that Rahul Gandhi is going to become PM, and then they've re-rated that expectation to Rahul Gandhi will be an MP. And so that story will continue till the 4th, and good luck to Sanjay and all of the congressmen who are seeing these exit polls today. I think, Navika, without getting into the details of Kerala in particular, in the south of India, it is very, very clear that contrary to the Congress narrative and all of their India Alliance party narratives, the BJP will be the largest national party in the south of India. And so that is the new reality. Whether it's Sanjay or Rahul Gandhi or any of these congressmen who are living in the 1960s, better wake up to that. That is the reality that the people of South India are sending loud and clear. And he can hold on to every delusional hope that he has till the 4th. And the 4th will establish this new reality and the new truth that the BJP is the party to beat. The BJP is the party that is growing in the south of India, whether it's Kerala, whether it's Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana, and Karnataka. All of these states are showing dramatic expansion of the BJP footprint and vote share.
Absolutely. And Tejasvi Surya, also a member of parliament and somebody who was contesting from the Bangalore South constituency, joining this broadcast. And Tejasvi Surya, I want to ask you, BJP increasing its footprint down south. India Alliance said BJP south mein saaf, north mein half. What we are actually seeing is 29 out of 129 seats was the performance for the BJP alone in 2019. And this time, even as per exit polls, it's 37 out of 129, which is a gain of at least 8 seats that we are seeing. Do you think the India alliance has overestimated in every which way, or do you think this was only part of the poll rhetoric and you expected this result any which way?
Well, Navika, this is pretty much in expectation of what the BJP has been consistently saying, that our footprint in south of India is increasing. 3 things that come out as a lesson from these numbers, at least the mood of the nation and mood of South India is concerned. 1, the Congress party has repeatedly seen the south of India as different from other parts of the country and the rest of the country. This has been a part of its narrative repeatedly. So much so that D.K. Suresh, an MP from Karnataka, even demanded a separate nation for southern India. And in the parliament, DMK MP called the North Indian states as Gaumutra states. So this whole Tukde vision, the seeing India in a piecemeal fashion, has been the Congress party's approach and politics. This has been unequivocally rejected by the voter in the southern part of the country. First point. Second, a myth, a stereotype was repeatedly created around the BJP, that BJP means Hindi, Hindu, Hindustan, and this is a party that imposes Hindi. This is a party that creates injustice for the south of India. So much so that Siddaramaiah, Pinarayi Vijayan, M.K. Stalin, they all sat in dharna in Jantar Mantar just a week before the poll dates were announced. The entire plank of all of, in all southern states has been that Modi government has given impartial treatment, has meted out unjust treatment to southern states. So this has also been rejected whole and soul by the people of the south of India. 2. Third, in both Telangana and Karnataka, from the last 1 year, you have a Congress party government in action. And in both these states, the Congress party has put in place its economic vision, its economic model, which they said they are going to export to the rest of the country if they come to power. This mindless populism, freebie-based politics, which is a sure shot economic disaster, has also been rejected by the voters of both Karnataka and Telangana, and people have preferred the sustainable, long-term Narendra Modi model of economic empowerment over the myopic, populist Congress economic policy.
Well
These
said.
are the 3 important takeaways that I think comes from the south of India.
Well said, Tejasvi Surya. Dr. Gurumurthy. Dr. Gurumurthy, when I look at the numbers from the south, Karnataka, people thought that the BJP has been routed, they've lost their government in Karnataka, and in Lok Sabha there'd be no comeback. Look at the numbers, 23 for the NDA coming from Karnataka, of which I think 22 are the BJP's, 1 is the JDS number. Tamil Nadu, the BJP likely to get 2 to 3 seats. Andhra Pradesh about 2 seats, and with its alliance partners, many more. Kerala, account being opened, and in fact 1 to 2 seats expected in Kerala. Dr. Gurumurthy, do you think on the 4th this number will stand the test of the real votes of the people already stored in the EVMs?
See, so far as Karnataka is concerned, I have been observing from 1998-99 that irrespective of the party in power at the state, they have always voted for the national party, namely the BJP. And the BJP got 17 seats and then 20 seats, like that. It was always improving, even when the Congress was in power. So there was a differential voting between the way the people voted for the assembly elections and the way they voted for the parliament elections. This, so far as Karnataka is concerned, it is no surprise to me that even in this election, even though they prefer, for whatever reason, the Congress party in the state polls, that they would vote for Narendra Modi was, as far as I was concerned, it was very clear to me. So that the BJP has got more seats, or as many seats as it got last time, is no surprise to me. But coming to Tamil Nadu, see, unless you understand Tamil Nadu very differently, I mean, I have spoken to you on this, that the Tamil Nadu nationalist votes got smuggled into the ADMK as far back as 1973. And it remained there because that is the only way the nationalist voters could defeat the DMK. So the game was between the ADMK and the DMK, where the nationalist voters, Congress voters or the BJP voters, or those who thought of India as the entity and not some regional work, they always had to prefer the ADMK. This time also, if the BJP had gone for an alliance with the ADMK, it would have been disastrous for BJP. For the first time, the nationalist-minded voters got an opportunity to vote for the BJP, which also put up a credible alliance. Heading the alliance. Never has a nationalist party headed an alliance in Tamil Nadu till now. So I am of the view, more than the seats, what I am more interested in is how many votes the BJP will get. If the BJP gets 15 to 16% votes, as different polls suggest, it would make a huge difference to Tamil Nadu politics. Tamil Nadu politics is already de-Dravidianizing. The society has become godly. It is interested in development. It is the Dravidian ideology has no more the kind of bite it used to have in 70s, 80s, and 90s. So it is only either this party or that party that was deciding who will be the winner. Now the BJP having entered with a credible face, and the way Narendra Modi took this campaign, I can only relate it to what Rajiv Gandhi did in 1989 when the ADMK was divided. And the Congress saw an opportunity and they got 18 to 19% votes, 19 to 20% votes. If the BJP does it and maintains it, it will be a shift in Tamil Nadu politics.
Well, so turning point in South India, and the BJP actually gets more than the Congress party. 37 out of 129 for the BJP, 34 out of 129 for the Congress party. Good morning. Have your coffee and smell the coffee, Dr. Sanjay Jha. Even as I look at the overall numbers coming up on your screen, Times Now ETG, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, I have a question for you. Don't go away. But first, the numbers up on your screen. Those are the mean numbers, 358 for the NDA, India Alliance at 152 and 33 for the others. So even if you join these two, not quite going to beat them. So Sanjay Jha, tough luck, but better luck in 2029, maybe.
Or on June 4th.
Or on June 4th. I know. Why not? Why not? Optimism doesn't have an expiry date. So let's keep the optimism on. Let's now look at the poll of poll numbers. And the poll of poll numbers, which gives you a sense. Times Now giving NDA 358. India News D Dynamics gives 371 to the NDA. Republic TV PMark 359. Jan Ki Baat NDTV India 375. So the poll of poll numbers is 366. For the India Alliance, it's about 146. Everybody in a similar range, 152, 154, 153. 125 is a little bit of an outlier. Others at 33, 37, 30 and 15. So the average number is 31. No poll really breaking away from the general direction of this. Whether 358 becomes 3...
Okay. I protest, Navika, because you haven't included German and Indian YouTuber ke exit polls.
वो तो 613 million है ना. I can't. The average will go. They are outliers, and those can't be looked at. But first reactions. First reactions.
What I want to point out here is that the 47 or the 33 given to the others looks to be a little bit exaggerated. Unless otherwise, Trinamool Congress had gone into that side. No.
जाने दीजिए.
Who watch those in YouTube? Whether Indians or from abroad, averages?
I don't know, but these are numbers given.
So you are mocking-
these numbers
you are
were
doing
given by
mockery of the
Supriya
Indians.
Srinath, alliance partner of the DMK, and the Congress put out a tweet of all of this. Maybe you can contact them for the details.
I want to make a couple of points here. Number one, it is very sad looking at these polls that fascists are coming back again. I mean, I can't breathe. I mean, the democracy is dead. Everything is, it's just
Sanjay
terrible. And number two, I have been saying this all along, this was always a pro-incumbency election. You look at everything, you look at all that. And number three, ab to desh ki janta ko baksht do. Now, please unite the country and please understand that you can, BJP could have fooled people some other time. But it couldn't have fooled people all of the time.
Well, Rajiv
2014,
Chandrasekhar, two questions that I want to ask you. One, 358 is not actually 400 par. How would you respond to that? And the second, so the Congress and the India Alliance might just call this a moral defeat for you. Secondly, the question that I want to ask you, everybody in the opposition and that ecosystem said there is no wave in this election. I want to ask you, with the BJP at 315 and the NDA at 358, do you think this is not a wave election because it's not 400 par?
Look, Navika, when we met in Trivandrum, I responded to you about this Dunning-Kruger effect. That is an affliction that has deeply impacted the Congress and now the India Alliance leadership. They think they know a lot about India when they know nothing. What they have done is obviously, with the help of many trolls and bots, mastered this way of deluding themselves. And this is how election 2019 played out. This is how election 2024 played out. While they were squatting in the cyberspace and botting and trolling, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji was actually doing governance and delivering things to the people of India. And it is the people of India who vote. It is not YouTubers in West Germany, or certainly not bots in Kazakhstan, and not a few trolls that are paid for by DK Shivkumar in Karnataka. They are not the ones who determine the outcome of Indian democracy. It is the real people. And there is one person in the last 10 years who has transformed the lives of thousands and lakhs and crores of Indians all around the country. And they are the ones who vote. Unfortunately, the Congis don't, and they don't determine the outcome of the elections.
Well said, Rajiv Chandrasekhar. But let me also get in Anand Dubey ji, who's been waiting, and I'm apologetic. I've come to you last. But Anand Dubey ji, Maharashtra में उद्धव ठाकरे रियल शिवसेना है, कम से कम ये तो नंबर बता रहे हैं. लेकिन ओवरऑल इंडिया गठबंधन का परफॉर्मेंस जो आपने उम्मीद की थी वो नहीं है. 152 इंडिया अलायंस, एनडीए 358. आपको लगता है कि घर वापसी का समय है, क्योंकि वहां तो दाल गल नहीं रही है?
नाविका जी नमस्ते, जय महाराष्ट्र. देखिए, हम किसी भी एग्जिट पोल पर प्रश्न चिन्ह नहीं लगाना चाहते. सब बड़ी मेहनत से अपना एग्जिट पोल करते हैं, लेकिन देश की जनता ने अपना एग्जिट पोल आज 1 तारीख को दे दिया है. 4 जून को नतीजे में बदलेंगे. खास करके महाराष्ट्र की बात करूं तो महाराष्ट्र में 28 से 32 सीटें महाविकास आघाड़ी जीत रही है, इंडिया गठबंधन जीत रही है. बाकी जो बची हुई हैं 16 से 20 सीटें वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी और उनके साथ जो नकली शिवसेना और नकली राष्ट्रवादी जीत रही है. हम किसी को एक तरफा नहीं बताते. जब जैसे बाकी लोग कह रहे थे अब की बार 400 पार, महाराष्ट्र में महाविकास आघाड़ी का सुपड़ा साफ, बीजेपी और उनके सहयोगी 45 सीटें जीतेंगे, हम ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं कह रहे हैं. हम उन्हें अवसर दे रहे हैं, उन्हें स्थान दे रहे हैं. और 4 जून को जब आपके चैनल पर बैठकर हम बात करेंगे तब आपको स्पष्ट दिखेगा कि महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने जिस प्रकार महाराष्ट्र में पार्टियां तोड़ी गई, महाराष्ट्र में एक दूसरे को तकलीफ पहुंचाई गई, विपक्ष के नेताओं को जेल भेजा गया, खास करके एक चलती सरकार को गिराई गई, महंगाई अपने चरम पर थी, बेरोजगारी बहुत चरम पर थी,
कैंपेन तो खत्म हो गया दुबे जी, कैंपेन खत्म हो गया. अब तो नतीजों का टाइम है. मैं हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी जी आपसे ये पूछूंगी, ये जरूर है कि उद्धव ठाकरे के गुट को सिंपैथी रही है और वो रियल शिवसेना है। ये लग रहा है ट्रेंड्स में जो अभी तक निकल के आया है कि 22 सीटें जो हैं जो जा रही हैं इंडिया अलायंस को, उसमें लार्जेस्ट शेयर उद्धव गुट का ही है। लेकिन इंडिया गठबंधन के साथ जुड़ना उनके लिए पर्सनली फायदे में नहीं रहा, क्योंकि ना वो महाराष्ट्र में कहीं कुछ कर पाए हैं, ना ओवरऑल इंडिया के लेवल पर।
लेकिन नविका जी, मुझे लगता है कि उद्धव ठाकरे और शिवसेना जो उद्धव बाला साहब ठाकरे है, उसने सचमुच कमाल का काम किया है अगर 4 जून को यही नंबर आते हैं, क्योंकि जो बाला साहब ठाकरे की पार्टी, हमें शक है, हमें अभी भी इस नंबर पर थोड़ा शक है, क्योंकि अगर बीजेपी ने बहुत अच्छे से वहां काम किया है, उसकी जो ग्राउंड है वो बहुत अच्छे से है, एकनाथ शिंदे और अजीत पवार उनके ऊपर डाउट है, लेकिन क्या उद्धव बाला साहब ठाकरे की जो शिवसेना है, जिसको हम बार बार कह रहे हैं कि वो विरासत कितनी बची है, जो राज ठाकरे ने अंतिम समय में बीजेपी को सपोर्ट किया, उसके बाद भी क्या इतने बचे हुए हैं? क्या वो कोंकण का मराठी और जो हिंदुत्व वाला वोट है वो मिलेगा, बावजूद इसके कि उद्धव ठाकरे अब ये कह रहे हैं कि हम तो सेकुलर पॉलिटिक्स कर रहे हैं? क्या वो शिवसेना शाखा वाला वो जो छत्रपति शिवाजी की जय बोलकर ये मुझे लगता नहीं है इतना, मुझे अगर करेगा
लास्ट बड़ी बात होगी। विल यू नाउ पुट टू रेस्ट डिक्टेटरशिप, फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच नहीं है और डिक्टेटरशिप चल रही है और एजेंसीज इस्तेमाल करिए, डेमोक्रेसी इज इन डेंजर, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज इन डेंजर? You think you want to put all of those issues to rest tonight?
I will bite the bullet on your question, but before that, I need to tell Tripathi ji, the big difference in Maharashtra, where I live, is that the vote transfer, the Congress supporters have voted for Uddhav ji supporters have voted for NCP, and NCP Sharad Pawar's supporters have voted both sides. So I think the vote transfer is a big reason why the MVA will do very well there. On your question on democracy, constitution, freedom of speech, I can tell you we should all worry as citizens of India, because an election can happen, but democracy, no one listen to me.
Democracy is in danger.
Questioning the wisdom of an Indian voter.
Never say die. The ecosystem is alive till 2029. Well, if the ecosystem stays alive, Anand Ranganathan, हमारा डिबेट चलता रहेगा. And I'm very glad that nobody is changing their mind, even though the NDA is back with a thumping majority, with the exit polls. Times Now ETG survey has done, and मोदी है तो मुमकिन है, एंड हमने तो पहले ही कहा था आएगा तो मोदी ही. आई जस्ट कीपिंग माई फिंगर्स क्रॉस्ड. 4th of June, we'll meet again and we'll get you the fastest results and we'll decide, were we very close and very accurate with our exit polls? Well, all of that and 100 hours of election programming coming up your way between now and the 4th of June. Stay tuned only to the Election News headquarters on Times Now. Thank you very much to all our panelists, and thank you viewers for joining me on this big day.